Hey guys, what is up? This is Swift here, and today I have quite an interesting video for you. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but from the title of the video, I'm actually going to try to repair a external hard drive, right? So this has been passed to me by my dad, and what he told me is that it powers up, but it does not read. Now, so my first instinct was that I'm going to take out the hard drive and plug into my 2.5-inch dock, or even using something like this, a SATA to a power to SATA connector kind of thing, so to connect into my computer, because it convert it into USB. And the reason why is because usually sometimes hard drives spoil, especially external hard drives in this case, is because of the connector. So what I mean by that is that when I open up the hard drive, so this is a Western Digital Elements, I think it's one of the earlier versions because it's rather thick, but when I opened it up, I realized that there wasn't any connectors, right? So you can see here, this is how it looks like inside. I just took it out so that it's easier for us to see. So what happens is that most of the hard drives I know in the past, at least, is that it doesn't use a PCB like that to convert directly into USB. What it does have, however, is that it will have the USB, something like that, like this. But it's into a PCB form, that means a main board form at the external hard drive casing. So what that allows you to do then is to connect directly to your computer. But this now is the PCB installed like that. The issue with this then is that if it's spoiled, if the PCB is spoiled, you have to get the PCB. So external hard drive spoil, sometimes there are two causes. The worst one, of course, is irrecoverable, is the one that your hard drive itself is damaged, right? So if the hard drive is dead already, then that is it, right? However, on the other hand, what could actually happen is that the conversion part, the SATA to power and data connector and the PCB itself could be damaged, right? And in this case, the PCB itself could be the one that is damaged. And why I suspect that might just be the chance of that happening is because the hard drive powers up, but it doesn't read anything. So possibly the data link is spoiled, but the power is still working. So we don't know. So what I did is that I went to search up the number on this particular PCB. It's stated somewhere here, I believe. And what I then do is that I search it online, right? You can find them maybe on eBay or AliExpress. AliExpress is the one I use, and I managed to find one. Now, so we have an exact one here, right here. So what this is basically the PCB, which we are going to replace, and hopefully it's the PCB spoiled, right? And that the hard drive is still intact. So we'll have to find out. Right, so I'll just take it out and show you. So this is basically the PCB when it is removed from the hard drive, right? So we're gonna replace this with that, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I'll just keep quiet now and unscrew it. So before that, I'm gonna show you the screws. So the screws here that they use are quite special, in the sense that usually you wouldn't own the screwdriver to this. Is the star-shaped ones. So I can show you here. I got one of them. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to focus on this. It's too tiny, right? Yeah, exactly. It's too tiny. But it's basically a star-shaped one. I'm not sure what it is called. But yeah, so we're gonna remove it and then just replace it and plug it in to see if it works. Alright, so we have actually replaced it. So now we are just gonna plug it in and try it out. Hopefully it works. I'll get back to you if it works or not. So yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't work, so I can only assume that the hard drive is actually dead already. It's spinning, but it's probably corrupted, or it's just damaged to the point that it's not recognizable by the system. But I guess it's worth a try. So if anyone of you out there have dead hard drives, or hard drives that seem dying, maybe you can try this out, and I hope for a better news for you instead. So I guess that's it. I'll see you guys again next time.